Hello, Link341. Hope you're doing fine and hope you are staying healthy. This is the second week, and welcome to the second week of Introduction to Phonetics. I'm really excited to be delivering these lectures to you and to be your course instructor and to be helping you study about English phonetics. And today is a lot about English phonetics because we're going to talk about English variety plus allophony. So first of all, I'm just going to say, if you feel like that I'm talking too slowly, feel free to increase the playback speed on the YouTube videos. If not, then just follow me as I'm talking, right? The English variety plus allophony is a lecture about the way Canadians speak, or the ways there are certain shifts in the way in Canadian English. So Peter Ladefoged and Keith Johnson, who wrote this book, A Course in Phonetics, were British and American. In that order. They wrote it for the British and for Americans, but they did not include so much Canadian English. And there are certain things that happen in Canadian English and in English that the majority of you are speaking. So we're going to see what's that all about today. You need to be aware of these distinctions as you go, because you want to transcribe these minor shades of differences in certain tasks, and you want to notice them. Even if you don't transcribe them, you want to notice them, right? So we have to listen carefully, and we have to be aware of certain changes that are occurring nowadays in Canadian English. So the vowel system of English can vary greatly from one dialect to another, and that's completely true. You have a variety of a variation in just the Great Lakes area of America. For example, you have a great variation in British English, just in the south of England. So there is a variety everywhere, and but most of the time we can describe English vowels or English consonants by using the IPA and by using some diacritics if we want to. What's relevant for you and what's relevant for Canadian English is that the vowels of Canadian English have shifted away from their American counterparts, or at least for some speakers, and some vowels have done this. So let us list out all of these that we've noticed in the couple of previous 15 years, let's say, or previous decade or two. So the first shift is from this low back unrounded vowel, as in hard, to aw, a little bit rounded version.
6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese. Okay,
and that's why I need to do this like this. Yeah, okay. Let me try. Okay, it's not cooperating. No worries. So it's
6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese,
and now you have to focus on the word Bob. So this is where the shift occurs. So this is the unshifted version.
Be a snack for her brother Bob.
And this is the shifted version.
6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob.
Bob. So there is a slight difference there in the production of Bob, which is now a little bit rounded.
Brother Bob.
And this might happen to you or not. It's good practice to say this sentence. So just repeat it as you would say it, right?
6 spoons of fresh snack for her brother Bob.
Yeah, this one is also a little bit, I can hear a roundedness here, but that might be because of the following stop. But Bob, which is a bilabial. But anyways, there is a shift from to aw, which is quite delicate. And then another shift that occurs, or that we've noticed, is from ash to which is which is actually as in Bostonian, you know, half a pack a day. Pack. So
I usually smoke about half a pack a day.
this is Dr. Winters.
I usually smoke about half a pack a day.
And this is
I usually smoke about half a pack a day.
half a pack a day. I guess speaker from, let me check. Yeah, I think the speaker is from Calgary, Saskatoon. Yeah.
Half a pack a day.
Sorry, not Calgary, Saskatoon, from Saskatoon.
I usually smoke about half a pack a day.
But yeah, you can see,
Half a pack a day.
you can notice
I usually smoke about half a pack a day.
a clear distinction between ash, and So yeah, I'll just check to see whether I've I hope you can hear these. I increased the volume so the mic is here, so it should be fine. Anyways, these shifts have been observed in the last 2 decades, but there are also some newer shifts underway, especially with younger speakers of Canadian. And this is, I not this one, but I've noticed, I've noticed the second one. This one a little less so. However, it's there.
Bed,
So this one is
bed,
and this one is
head,
had, which should be head, bed, head, and not had, as in to have something, as in the past simple of had, right? Maybe not open to that extent, but still it's going towards schwa. And we'll soon learn in a minute the dimensions of vowels finally, which are very important for us to describe vowels. That's why I was referring to vowel as a low back unrounded vowel, and this one low back unrounded vowel. So we'll learn about the dimensions and how to articulatorily explain them, describe them. Okay, the second one is this one I've heard many times. One of my colleagues, previous colleagues, Lyndon Ray, who was a TA for this course as well, and my good friend is somewhere from Ontario, around in London, Ontario, somewhere there in the vicinity of London, Ontario, and he would say ben milk instead of bin milk. He would say ben milk and stuff like that. And I've heard many students telling me, "Oh, I say that as well." So it's nothing unusual. It's just the way the shift is.
bid,
The shift is being, I guess, realized. So this is
bid,
bid, and this is
head,
head. It should be hid, and not had, which is head, which is this epsilon. So it's lowering a little bit the tongue and becoming head. As I said, in milk and like milk and bin as well, and in similar words. This is an ongoing change. Another change is from upsilon to this this rounded schwa symbol. This symbol is not used for sound, but the symbol is stands for that sound. The symbol is not used in English IPA, but it's used in other languages, in world's languages. And we'll learn slowly about those during the course. So this is hood,
hood,
yeah,
head, hood,
hood. So
hood, head,
hood and hood. Still rounded, right? But it's lowering the tongue towards a neutral position a little bit, towards instead of so and there's a difference. So these have been obtained from George Mason University accent database, which is publicly available. What we want to focus on is the shifts in all of these, but you can listen to a variety of accents and dialects. That is dialects, English dialects mainly, for Canadian, Australian, British, Irish, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I will explain why I'm using these dimensions in a minute. But one important thing to notice that is a shift which we call U fronting or U fronting. This shift is general for all of the North America, I guess. Perhaps for British English, but haven't ventured there yet. But for North Americans, this is very characteristic. And for their English, the final element of the shift involves fronting of the vowel U. So you have U vowel, which you should try and produce with your tongue to the back of your mouth as much as possible, such as ooh, and tightening your lips in order to produce it properly. And this is how it's produced in LA.
6 spoons of fresh snow peas. Spoons.
Yeah. Spoons. And listen to Saskatoon.
6 spoons of fresh snow peas. Spoons.
Yeah, so this one is produced with what we call a fronted U or back E. So it would be something like instead of spoons, you said spoons, which is very typical of American English and North American English. I believe in Canada as well. I think there is one cartoon character called Cartman who does this all the time. Instead of saying Coon and Friends, he says Coon and Friends, Keen and Friends. He's even lowering the tongue even more. So it becomes like a schwa like. Anyways, not every Canadian does this. We have to say, for example, this guy from Calgary.
6 spoons of fresh snow pea. Spoon.
So compared to Saskatoon.
Spoons.
Spoon. Yeah. So he read it properly. The dialectal variation is also contingent on the socioeconomic status of a person. So there are a lot of variables there that make one say this vowel in this way and another person saying this vowel in that way. So there's a lot of influence, outside influence. The North American vowel system is diverging in another direction, and this direction is as you can hear it, for example, in Chicago, at the Great Lakes area, they produce vowels like this.
Bob.
And this is not U fronting, this is just a general variation. And if we try to maybe type it up, it can be, it should be like this in some of in the IPA system. Oops. And with Saskatoon,
Bob.
Yeah, it can be this guy, I'd say, but it also so I would consider that one. It was easier for me to copy it. Also, oops, maybe an open O that we talked about. Okay, like that. So like for or Bob. Yeah, it's likely that it's this guy here. Bob. And the flavor is, you can even hear that it's almost a diphthong.
Bob.
So but but it's highly likely this guy. And the last one is New York City. And something funny is going on here, I guess. Something like that, but with schwa rather than anything else. Here, Bob, yeah, schwa flavor. I don't have a schwa here, or maybe let me just pause and see the documentation. So yeah, it's just like equal and A, and there you have it. So something like that. And the shift is ongoing today. The vowel systems are diverging one from another for many reasons. I guess we can take a big guess there and say that it might be because there is an outside influence of people. There is also a economic situation. There are also weather circumstances. There is also a geographical position, so on and so forth. So there are plenty of reasons why this might happen or not. The morals of the story is that, okay, we can just recap this. Morals of the story is that your phonemic system might be different from the official transcriptions in the textbooks. If you don't believe what the books say, you may very well be right. So you have to pay attention to both your speech and the phonetic habits of those around you. You might learn something, for example, where they are from, or what kind of socioeconomic situation they are, for example. If you disagree with the way certain sounds have been described in the book, then that is fine. These are the descriptions. As we said, the APA is not perfect, and there are different ways of producing sounds and different ways of producing English vowels. So if you're doing something differently, so you should maybe bring it up and you can always tell us what you're doing. If it's interesting or less interesting, that's okay. We would like to know, because we want to observe that scientifically, right? And come to you as students and tell you, okay, this is what's going on. So what's going on, right? Vowel articulations can be characterized along 4 dimensions, and I think this is very important part where we have to go through together, and which we have to learn. These are the relatively independent features that communicate with each other, and they characterized the vowel articulations, the way vowels are produced, and that these are the 4 ways in which we are going to describe vowels now and in the future. The first dimension is basically the height of tongue body. So tongue can go high, can be in the mid, and can be low. So the position, based on the position of the tongue, we decide whether a vowel is high, whether a vowel is mid, whether a vowel is low. You can break apart this mid position into high mid or low mid as well, if you want to. And what's important to observe here is that the height is described with the relevance of the tongue body, the highest position being the one at the palate of your mouth, and the lowest position being at somewhere in the larynx, right? So somewhere very, very back into your mouth. And one of the things you have to be aware is that your tongue is long, so it's a long organ that you have, and you can do different things with it. So we'll see on the next slide. So basically the high vowels are those that where the tongue is high, and if you produce the vowel e, and then produce a vowel ah, you could feel that the tongue height, the tongue body height is different. So e, ah, e, ah. There's also a dimension that they call openness. Openness, which is the same as height. And if you see it in certain vowel spaces, vowel charts, don't be intimidated by it. It's just height, openness, because if you look at me and you see that I'm producing e, the openness of my mouth is not so great in comparison to the openness of my mouth when I'm producing and that's why we say e, for example, is close, and is okay. Let's copy it. I haven't learned the codes yet of the IPA for the keyboard, but that's okay. Is open, and E is of course high, is low, right? So if you happen to see this kind of annotation, that's okay too. But I will ask you to, stick to the height, high, mid, and low. Then the second dimension is the front and back, or frontness or backness of the tongue. When you produce the vowel e, the tongue is going to the front of your mouth, and when you produce the vowel oo, if you can produce it, you can feel that the tongue is in the back. And it's good to go along as I'm producing these vowels in each of these slides, to go along with me. If you're uncomfortable producing them in front of someone, then you can produce them later in the comfort of your bedroom, but please do so in order to feel how the tongue is placed and where the tongue goes from there. So we have front, central, and back. Front is, for example, e, back is, for example, oo, and central, it can be schwa. The most central sound is actually schwa, which is like when we want to say something and we think about it, we say it's basically schwa, the schwa sound. I just said it. There are many there are many central vowels which are not part of English. One of the vowels that goes towards center is wedge, a wedge. So in words like cut, but it's not centralized to the fullest degree. Okay. The next dimension is basically the roundedness of the lips. There can be rounded and unrounded vowels. Most of the vowels in English are unrounded. For example, E is unrounded, and oo, you can see from my lips that I'm rounding them. I'm pouting a little bit. Ooh. Or when young people take photos today, they can practice with that. Instead of saying cheese, they say ooh, perhaps. But the point is that there are rounded and unrounded vowels. For example, a low back unrounded as in hard is unrounded, and its counterpart is rounded, such as oh, what a cute puppy, or open O as well in for, or oo, are all rounded vowels. Then the next, so the first two dimensions belong to, I'm going to draw again, right? These two belong to what we call a tongue, right? So they are they're the dimensions that describe the tongue position, and the second one is that of the lips, and the third one is not really of the tongue or the lips. It's basically, it shows the effort with which you produce certain vowels, and we call it tenseness. There are tense and lax vowels in every language, and in English, the tense vowels are those that require more effort from you, that are louder, usually longer in duration, and a little bit different in quality. Those corner vowels, such as E, such as A, such as U, are all tense vowels because they demand more energy from you when you produce them, in comparison to, for example, cap I, such as or schwa, or wedge, cut. So these are basically they do not require as much effort as the tense vowels, and they are therefore called lax vowels. There are different characterizations of tenseness, but we'll use tense and lax for now. Many students throughout the course of the 3-4 years that I've been here have asked me which are tense, which are lax vowels, and I provide a link for you to have it all the time. So you can of course ask us, that's not a problem if you will respond, but you have a link there to refer to it. So there are actually more tense vowels than lax vowels in English, which is I guess unusual. I can say unusual, but is the way it is. Now, one of the things, so very important to remember about the 4 dimensions of vowels is that we are going to describe the articulation of vowels by using these 4 dimensions. And I'm just going to announce it that we will probably include these in your midterm. So pay attention to those and learn those. They're very easy to learn. How to draw them and where they are actually. Well, here they are. These diagrams are what we call mid-sagittal diagrams, because if I turn around like this, maybe like that, and if you cut my head in half, then you would see what my tongue is doing right now as I'm speaking, right? So that's, and there is only half of the face, so they show what the tongue, lips, and teeth, and uvula and epiglottis and the rest are doing when you're producing sounds, and you'll be required to learn how to draw these. So if you you've probably noticed this one is these are lips, these are teeth, this is tongue, and tongue goes all the way back here because it's a very long organ. This is palate here. This is the back of the palate, basically. We have soft, hard palate, and here this part is basically the root of the tongue in your down in your throat, or pharynx, and we'll learn about those very soon. But to just briefly go through these are he, who, ha, and when you produce them, and you should go along with me, you should say E, whereby the tongue or the body of the tongue is in a high position. You can see it's very high here in comparison to this vowel down there, which is ah, which is low. Then we have, and this vowel is front, while this one is in the back of the mouth. So these are the point vowels also, or corner vowels as we call them. The U is another corner vowel, whereby U is produced with the tongue in the back, but it's still keeping the height. So it's high back vowel and rounded, maybe with lips. It doesn't mean a lot to you. You cannot see whether they're rounded in or not, but they should be, and you should round them for oo sound, right? So these are the mid-sagittal diagrams, and you will learn how to draw them in order to describe what's going on with vowels and with some other sounds very quickly. I do have here for you an X-ray video. This X-ray video, while I'm opening it, while I find it, is from I guess from Ken Stevens. So this X-ray video was filmed by their cohort, right? Ken Stevens was a phonetician, one of the few people who experimented with speech sounds of many languages, and English was one of them. And this is an X-ray of them saying or producing a variety of sounds. It's 1 minute long, but mainly this X-ray, well, we're going to pay attention to a couple of features in this video clip, but especially with respect to vowels. And this X-ray filming was abandoned in the 60s because it was not really, or maybe not in the 60s and 70s, I guess, because doctors said that it was unhealthy. If you're not in the need of an X-ray, you should not do it because it emits radiation. So you should not just do X-rays for phonetics. That was not an essential branch, and they